What's up, guys? It is another red day here. I actually, surprise, had a plan, did not follow my plan, and instead I got cooked. I think I lost like $1,000 in a trade, or like $800 or something. I remember at one point I was down 900. And yeah, it was a little bit of an aggressive morning. Probably a little bit too aggressive. A couple notes on the market just overall before we start. Some stuff just that I've been noticing and that other traders have been noticing is there have been a lot of slippery predatory fills, a lot of straight up and straight down, and that's becoming a theme, aka Christmas tree, where the stock goes up and then doesn't really consolidate and just goes straight down. The moves have been very extreme and unexpected, and they have been taking place at times. Taking play moves happening at times that they are least expected in the day. So it's like almost like anything that you think should happen does not happen. Kind of actually pretty common for trading, but it's just more so recently. The chart is almost useless, as these areas of dips that you see there are usually not super possible to get filled in, and it's very low volume glitchy areas. You can kind of get filled there, but a lot of times what happens is like they get bought up so quick, like they're at this kind of consolidation level, dip down, get bought up so quick, almost instantly. You're almost always, especially on like a highly competitive name, you're almost always getting filled right back at that consolidation level where you really have to question, should I even be in here? The short micro scalp is dying off at the moment. We're consistently seeing 300 plus movers that seem like the riskiest thing to even touch. They're very fast and very difficult to get a lower risk entry. It feels like any place you get in, you're risking like 10% each trade. That's what it feels like. Whether it's true or not, like, I don't know, because I try not to trade them. The only trades I've done well in are trades where I think about it for a second. Counterintuitive to most people, and because of the chart, I have an okay idea that are counterintuitive to most people. And because of the chart, I have an okay idea of where it may go and the amount it may go, and I get a scalp off that, but it takes a lot of time to find these, and it's harder to size in because they are also in risky areas. And then the Thinkorswim is getting less reliable since it's switched over to Schwab. So, c'est la vie, baby. Those free commissions we are starting to pay for. C'est la vie. Anyways, on to other news. We have a day here where I'm down $340-ish. I'm about total down like $394, but there's like $60 worth of like my gold and silver positions that took a little bit of a hit today as the market went to new highs, which is fine. They're just a hedge. Yada yada yada. And let's go look at some video because I want to check out. I have to do a lot of. I got to re-update kind of my volatility awareness. It's kind of one of those like quarterly things that I probably should be doing, where I just really dive deep, dive deep. into the tape, into how stocks are moving, I kind of stopped using it because the fills have been getting poor, and the places where I've been like knowing I should be buying, I'll buy, and then I get filled much higher, and I've kind of just been like, well, I have to figure this shit out in real time. Yeah, but also I probably should be looking for other opportunities and other ways to hit it where I'm not quite getting cooked so much from slippage. And now here we go. This is about a 50-cent stock. I'm queued up to 10K shares. Okay, first position. I just started taking 20K share positions on my first thing. I'm okay doing that. It's not. I'm experienced enough, but it's not like something I want to be doing. I'm pretty comfortable. Ideally, I could use a little bit more cushion in my account, but like before I start trading with this size, but you know, it is a really low price stock. It ends up moving pretty crazily. I end up holding quite a bit here. I'm like pretty confident in this move here. Pretty confident, maybe a little too confident. I accidentally went short 10K shares too and ate a couple bucks that way. Yeah, I'm like going. This is the open here. Yeah, so I don't know. Stuff that I knew seems to not be working, and that's okay. I can relearn stuff. And there's my accidental short position. I think I was flat out of that. It cost me $11 though. Yeah, I'm about flat out of that. Yeah, so there's this one. It does this thing where it's kind of doing the downtrend. I'm flat on it, and yeah, I'm flat on it right here, and I get aggressive, maybe a little bit. Let's see. Okay, look, first thing when you analyze a trade is analyze a trade. I'm just writing this down. We're gonna look at the context. And the context here is that it like tested the open candle, the opening range, got rejected. It's now had a red candle every single candle. It's rejecting, and it's only up 23% at the moment. So all red candles, basically rejecting. Rejecting opening range 1 minute, and it's even below that rejection candle. Okay. High volume. So basically, the chart looks horrible, and I'm buying lows here, and I'm trying for lows, and so I'm waiting. I'm like, okay, let's see how this looks here. And I got pretty comfortable trading 20K shares. You know, you just click in a couple of times, it's fine. You don't really think about it. I'm watching the tape. Where do I get in? Okay, so it keeps pushing down here. Okay, action. So the second part when you're analyzing a trade is the action. Creeping lower on tape. We don't like that. Yeah, and it crept through a level. Creeps through a level. Not flush. Don't like that. So yeah, that's where I could have. So I was aiming at kind of a trend line support trade, but the tape did not line up. Conclusion: aiming at trend support, but tape did not line up. And so I'm in here. I jump in with 10K and I jump back out and I jump back in immediately. Oh my God. Oh my God. What did I do? Wow. Okay. Result. Jump in. Jump out. Jump in. Flushed on hold. Jump out minus 900. That's basically it. That was the action. And I keep getting pushed on, and I finally stop at 360 for minus 900. Jump back in. 1, 3. I jump back in slightly higher, like 20 cents higher than my entry, basically, or than my exit. Or 2 cents higher. Sorry, I'm looking at a penny stock. Jump in higher than entry and only make partial back. Yeah, so it was a pretty rough go there. I was grateful that I stayed green in this kind of second trade here. Even though I didn't hold it, that's okay. I recouped like 400-ish, 300-ish of the dollars. And, you know, at a certain point, I just have to take responsibility for that. Like, that was just a bad trade. Yeah, so I got back 350 on that. It ended up going higher. That was where I moved to stop out. Like, that was... I let myself get pushed out down here. We can watch the tape again just to see how this moves. So if you notice here, it's pushing lower, pushing lower. It kind of goes through the level like butter. I take one trade, I stop out, and then I take another trade here. Actually, let me see here. How does this go again? Okay. So this was a clean attempt. I'm in and it's kind of pushing through and I'm in slightly before. I don't like that. So I cut it. It looks like it's recovering above 40. Jump back in and I'll get flushed on it. I don't cut it soon enough. And that's that. And then I jump back in late. This is all very classic. This is just how stocks like to fake people out, how these algorithms like to fake people out. You know, I was overconfident. I was overconfident in setup. Not on the day, a little bit on the size, but in the setup. And then we can look at fucking, how much was this even up? It only opens at up 40%. Like, come on. Come the on. So that was the majority of my loss today. There was a lot of other action. Lucy, Fi did some stuff. Swerve did like crazy stuff. It's just these moves just feel so manipulated and like slippery and dangerous, and I just don't want to touch them. Like even with small size, because they just move so much. Like 3.5 to 4, basically 420 right there in just a minute, really. Like on that setup, like what is that setup? What is this? This setup is okay. It's getting stopped. It's getting stopped. There's a red candle, makes a new high. I'm thinking rejection. Where are you supposed to buy here? The high, like into that resistance level? Like for the break of 4, maybe? Guess. I guess that's the only thing to do. But then, like, you buy there for the break of 4. Uh, uh, it's getting sold a little. Oh, there's a big seller. Basically break even unless you sold like at 402 or something, because it didn't give much liquidity up near 410. That's the thing. It says it goes to 410, but like your average isn't coming out at 410. That's just not realistic. Your average is coming out maybe at 402, $4 or something, and then you're buying at 95. So in this entire move, the problem with this entire move, it's not even that like there's not opportunity visibly, because like of course there's like 3.5 to 3 to 4.1, whatever. It's that once it becomes obvious what's happening, like, and this has to be by design. Like there's almost no way this is not by design. Like once it becomes obvious the direction it's going in, you're only getting realistically about 5 cents on such a crazy move. And then you can kind of, sure, you can kind of take it here, but what's the difference between here and the other one? Well, I guess you could say that it did just have a new 5 minute candle. Okay, so it's making a new 5 minute high here. Wait, was this the 5 minute high? Let's see here. This is 3709. Yeah, okay, so it makes a 5 minute high, tries to fail, can't fail, trying to make a new 5 minute high. Okay, so that's a setup, sure. But then you're getting in an anticipation, maybe. So you're filling maybe at 80, like with how it's jumping around. And it's hesitating here, and like all the other candles before, they made a little high and reversed. Okay, so now you're holding. Do you hold? Do you get unload a little bit before 4? Do you wait till after 4? And it's a difficult proposition. I mean, it did kind of cut through pretty nicely there. So you got it. Yeah. See, like that. Look, the liquidity on the bid there is just not great. Okay. Fair play. Or unfair play, whatever you want to say. I don't know, man. These algos are smart. Plus, the volume's not super high. It's only total 1 million shares of volume in that last 5 minute. Like some of these stocks, like INMB has 20 million shares of volume. Not really going anywhere. I don't know. I just think when you go at these stocks, you have to be perfectly focused on them, and you can't really be aware of anything else. And the problem with SVRE is it's a no news name. All right, you can write this down. Actually, this should go in my notes that I have. No new names out of left field getting crazy moves in reg hours. So these are the conditions on the ground, and so this one, like, it's a no news name. If I were to focus on this, I would have had to be totally zoned in, totally ignore INMB, which, probably for the best. That one looks tricky as heck. But they're both tricky. They're both kind of controlled by the same level of algorithm. I mean, these algorithms are just getting really, really good, and so just gotta get a little bit better. That's okay. Be human, baby. Be a good human. Get better than your creation. And on top of that, it's like I just don't like the reliability of like getting in at the right price on these. That's the other thing. Getting in at the right price, getting in at a price that you feel is fair based on what's going on at the tape. I'll tell you what, like, if you had a bid, like a level 2 screen that showed you what you would actually be paying for, or what you would actually be filled at, like, or at least the more accurate one than the level 2 data that, like, I'm getting through Thinkorswim or through DOS, I think I would pay double the price. Like, that's a great. There has to be like an estimation based on the size you're using, based on, a couple of factors, based on the algorithms, and yeah, interesting. Huh. I'm just thinking like how you can actually make that work. Anyways, all that aside, it was a tricky, weird day. There was this WFF stock that goes. What was the price levels of that one? It went all the way up to $20 to $26, $30. Let me see here. WFF. Come on, tell me I have that up somewhere. No. Yeah, so it's from. It was like $7 to $30. Hey, I don't trade it, of course. I'm not dumb, but it's been some wild stuff recently. So be safe out there. Day trading is very hard, and I hope you guys manage yourselves responsibly. This is not investment advice. It's purely just to show what I got going on, what I'm doing for my posterity. I actually don't recommend day trading for anybody unless you just love the game and you just do it for fun. It's not a very because it is like the algorithms always change and the rules always change, so it's hard to like stack significant skill sets, because the skill set you need tomorrow is going to be learning a new skill set. Really, that's really what the skill set is. So, having said all that, happy Friday, guys. Have a good weekend. Next week's a holiday week, so we'll see what the action brings. Usually they tend to be pretty good because a lot of the short sellers are out of town, and stuff tends to pop nicely, and it is summer, so we'll see what goes on. But anyways, bon voyage. Talk to you later. Goodbye.